Welcome back, everybody, to America on the Road with Chris Teague, Jack Nerad back with you for road test time. And we've got really cool vehicles, I think kind of performance-oriented vehicles. A lot of times we've got 3 rows or pickup trucks or something like that. But you've got a performance car to talk about that should be a lot of fun. And I'm curious as how it did in the snow.
Yeah, I have to be honest. I love cars like the Miata 2-door coupe cars, but since I've had kids and I've spent most of my time in a car with the kids or taking them someplace, and my time driving is back is alone, the sedan is really what speaks to me. The wagon speaks to me. Performance SUVs, even in some degree, are appealing. But this car is a compact sedan, so it's a little bit smaller than it's not a full-size luxury car. So let's just say that the CT-4 V Blackwing, Jack. It's got a 3.6-liter twin-turbocharged V6 engine, 472 horsepower, 445 pound-feet of torque. Those are serious muscle car numbers from just a couple of decades ago. And in this car, it's a quick car. So we talked about it being rear-wheel drive, which is not ideal for the snow. All-wheel drive is obviously far better. But though it comes standard on summer run-flat tires, this car had Michelin Alpine. They're kind of a performance cold weather. I won't call them a full dedicated winter tire, but Jack, I have to be honest with you. I was surprised. I'd never tried these tires. I think they worked really well with this car. The temperatures, as I mentioned earlier in the show, dropped well below 0 and stayed there for a couple of days. And this car just drove on and plowed on forward like there was no big deal. I did find that they don't have the best grip when you put your foot down, especially in second gear. You can still break traction in second gear with these tires, but they're fantastic. So have you tested or have you been behind the wheel of the CT-4 V Blackwing or even the CT-5, either one of them?
I have, yeah. I think in North American Car of the Year testing, I got behind the wheel of the Blackwing, and it's an awesome car. And it in some ways, oddly, or maybe not so oddly, it reminded me of my 1965 442, Oldsmobile 442. Kind of in some ways the same size and just a ton of horsepower. And, it's cool to have a vehicle like that has a lot of horsepower, isn't it?
I do agree. And you're never going to argue with more horsepower, but Cadillac did a really good job here getting that power to the ground. So it's got stand-up adaptive suspension, magnetic ride control, Brembo brakes, and a rear electronic differential. So you do get great traction out of this car in the corners and when you're pushing it hard. So pricing, which I should have mentioned to begin with, starts around 62 grand. They do make a couple of special editions for this car. Not sure how much longer it's going to stick around, but this will definitely be, this CT-4 and the CT-5 will be the last of their kind for Cadillac before they go electric. So those are pretty special cars. As tested, price was just under $77,000. I want to go through some of these options because I think they're pretty cool. So $4,900, tan and jet black leather interior. The sport seats in this car are fantastic. I'm 6 feet tall. We talk about this all the time. About 215 pounds. And even for my larger size, they're perfectly comfortable seats. They're wide enough for my body, and they're extremely supportive. So a lot of great things going on with the sport seats here. My kids have plenty of room in the back. I will say, though, Jack, this car is not the best family car for people with full-size car seats. Thankfully, we're past that stage, but didn't have to worry too much about it. But there would be some issues if I had to fight for a position with a car seat in the back. 10-speed automatic transmission in this car is a $2,275 option. It comes standard with a 6-speed manual. I like the 10-speed automatic, Jack. I want to get your opinion to see if you've driven it, but I found it was a little bit slow to downshift. When you put your foot down, it takes a minute to get up to speed, but everyday driving, normal shifts are quite quick. It works very well to keep the engine in its power band, especially when you're in the V sport button mode. I call it sport button because it's a big V button right on the steering wheel, but pretty responsive. What do you think about it?
I think it's cool. I think 10 speeds in some ways are, you have so many speeds to go through as you're accelerating. It's like boom, 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 boom. You're almost between gears as much as you're in a gear, which is a kind of an odd kind of thing in a way. In some ways, maybe a 6-speed or 8-speed automatic might be a better choice, but it certainly works fine.
Yeah, you probably lose fuel economy on the highway and some other things there, but it is an interesting sensation when you have the exhaust open in this car and you're in the 10 and you're going through the gears in the 10 speed, because it does. The first 4 or 5 gears are very fast shift when you get through. But so this car also had a $1,600 performance data recorder, so it comes with a dash cam and track time and all the stuff there. But my favorite option is actually the $1,500 bronze wheels. This car was electric blue, which is like a bright sky blue with bronze wheels. And maybe it was just sitting against the snow, but man, this is one of the slickest looking cars I've seen in a long time. And as I was telling you on the phone yesterday, Jack, I actually have started scheming on how I can afford to buy one of these cars. I don't know that I would spec it all the way out to 80 grand, almost 80 grand like this car, but this is an enchanting car to drive. It's perfectly comfortable in daily driving, brutally fast when you want it to be. I didn't get to take it on a track. Obviously, it's not the time of year to do that here, but I can imagine, as others have said, that it's a fantastic track car. So all around a great job here. If you can afford it and you're looking for a performance car and don't want a European model, this is the way to go.
Well, I love the fact that you fall in love with these cars. You know, you drive some of these cars, you get excited by them, and then you want to buy one. You know, I mean, there's very few cars that I test these days that I really want to buy. But maybe it's because I've been doing this so long that I'm used to having a new car every week. And, you know, I kind of like that smorgasbord kind of thing. You know, maybe it's my Swedish heritage. I don't know.